My grandfather owned the 110 acres. Well, there was a small house that is, which way's the football field? Sort of where the entrance to that is was a little small house that I was born in. Now this is the deed dated in 1900. The Brawls owned it and sold it to the Lassiters, and my grandpa Sloan bought it from Mr. Lassiter. $264.20.
For 100 acres. 110 acres.
Yeah, and I don't know what that 100, I don't know what this is.
$2 per acre.
My house is where 540 is right now, so when you go over Green Level Road West on 540, the bridge, that was my house.
We moved up here in the late 40s. Up here. So I've been on this road since then.
When we moved back here, I knew everybody from Cary all the way to Chatham County. I knew every single household, knew every family, knew every farm. And Green Level was the center of the community at that time. If you look at a satellite map now, you'll find a green island in which I live, my sister lives, and my brother lives. We're surrounded by houses and 540. On the other side of 540 is a historic district of Green Level. And when I was a young man, that wasn't even considered historic district. That's just considered Green Level. We had a country store down there that all the countrymen, all the farmers gathered around.
So how long did your parents have the general store?
We moved here in '79, so my parents started running it in '80. I tell you who built the store. If you drive west down Green Level, just 1, 2, 3 houses down on the right is a brick home. It's a Cancel home place.
Okay.
And Mr. Cancel built the store. He's deceased. I mean, he's built it back in, I think it was 40. Well, I should know these. I do know these dates. 44.
A lot of the farmers would go to the store at night and trade stories and see how the crops were doing, and especially in the summertime, they'd all sit out on the porch.
I'll put up the groceries and stock the store. So I was always back there with them.
Everything connects back to the church at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole community at that point.
That was the focus.
Church connected everybody.
That was the focus of the community, yeah.
And it wasn't the general store?
Well, that was another thing.
Yeah,
General store in the church.
but they weren't open on Sunday.
True.
Where Green Level Baptist Church got its start, it was actually called Providence in the very beginning, and it met upstairs in that whiskey tavern. Met on a Saturday, and it started there in the very beginning. And then that was back in the 1800s. And then in the 1900s, it moved up the hill to where it is now. And the section that we just recently removed was built about 1904, and the sanctuary building itself was built about 1920. So it actually had the name Providence Baptist Church to begin with, and then over the years they renamed it to Green Level. But the history of the community and that church actually goes back to the 1800s.
Do you see that? Can you get a good picture of that?
Yeah, I get it.
Look at that. That's
tavern.
the tavern. 1867. That is awesome.
See, and this was the original church. That was a little old study, just a little old bitty, like a dollhouse for a little small kid, about the size of it. That was his, William G.T. Mills' study.
But the only work that would get done when I was younger out here on a Sunday was irrigation. If the tobacco needed water, you irrigated on Sunday. You never stopped irrigating.
Indeed, we were tobacco farmers. We had corn. Daddy had hogs, cows. We had a team of horses.
We had about a dozen cows, 2 mules, chickens, pigs.
We grew all kinds of things in our garden. We had peas, butter beans, snap beans, tomatoes, corn, squash.
That's all we did, farming. But everybody around here was tobacco. But you don't see no more around here now.
Tobacco educated all 4 of my siblings, all 4 of my children. And to quote one of my sons, when he gave his fiancee her diamond, don't say anything about tobacco because tobacco is what paid for this diamond.
I didn't mind it. It was hard work, back-breaking work starting out. And then when you got up midway and up to the tips, it wasn't so bad, but it was hot.
You know, it was very much a farming rural community, and there was a sense of helping each other.
There's always something to do in a tobacco field. 6-7 days a week.
All the fields you see around here, everything you see that's green had tobacco in it.
But it was long, hard days. But I'm glad I grew up that way.
You know, they're talking about naming it. And I called her one day and I told her, I said, look, I don't know what they're going to name this school, but I've heard they're going to name it West Cary, Cary this, Cary that. I said, will you please y'all talk about it and see if you can't name this school for something around here.
I would hope that 20 to 30 years down the road that if they knew the history of the area and kind of used that as their building base to move forward with, I think that would be good to remember that this was an agricultural community, and yes, we have RTP down the road and it has a lot of high-tech jobs and things like that. And it has drawn a lot of people to this community. But I think it's also good to remember what the basis for everything was and where it came from, because that's very important.
Green Hope has a real special place in, as I like to call it, us natives, because we all went there. But it's where it is now. It still carries on the history of the community. But by virtue of the fact that now we've got our own high school, Green Level High School, that to me is a tremendous feather in our cap. I'm very proud that it's here. It's ironic that as we sit right here talking today, I have 5 4A high schools within 3 miles as the crow flies of this place.
We can talk about the past, and the past is great, and I love it, but this place is going to eventually be their past. They got to look toward their future. And what is their future going to be?